Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and this is part number 32 of my NFL hybrid set build using cards between 1970 and 73. The project has one card for every player that had a card issued. So if you had a card issued each year between 70 and 73, I'm going to have one of those cards. And obviously, if you only had one card issued, that card will be in the set. And here today we've got a nice page here. I'm going alphabetically. We're in the H's right now, starting with Hugo, Hollas. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so we can see the cards a little bit better. Let me flip this sheet here around. And I'm going to zoom in. There we go. All right. Starting off with Hugo Hollas with the New Orleans Saints. And this is Hugo's last card. His rookie card's a 1972 card, and he also had this card in 73. He was undrafted out of Rice University in 1968, and he signed with the Cowboys, but he suffered a thumb injury in camp. In 1970, he signed with the Saints, and he started. He had 5 interceptions that year and 5 the next year, but injuries hit in 72 and 73. He signed midway through the 74 season with the 49ers. He appeared in 7 games and then was cut. Hugo played in 46 games overall, starting 31. So he had a nice little couple years there, 5 interceptions each year, but then the injury set in, and that was it for Hugo Hollas. Next up, we've got Gus Holloman. This is his rookie card, and it's his only card. He was a safety for the New York Jets. He was drafted out of the University of Houston with the 111th pick by the Broncos. He played with the Broncos from 68 to 69, and then the Jets from 70 to 72. Gus suited up overall in 66 games. He started 40 as a defensive back, and he was also the punter in 1969. He kicked 47 times with a 37.5-yard average for Gus Holloman. Next over here, we've got Glenn Holloway, offensive lineman with the Chicago Bears, his rookie card and his only card. He was drafted in 1970 with the number 235th pick in the draft by the Bears. He was with the Bears from 70 to 73, and then with the Browns in 1974. He played in 70 games, starting 55 games. Down here we got another Bear, Willie Holloman. Again, his rookie card, his only card. He was drafted by the Bears in the 7th round out of South Carolina State. He played with the Bears from 68 to 72. And then in 1973, he played in 6 games with the Bears and 5 games with the Redskins. He suited up in 71 total NFL games. He started 45. In 1971 and 72, Willie started every single game. He finished his career with 5 fumble recoveries and 26 sacks. Here we got Pat Holmes with the Oilers. Again, it's his only card, his rookie card. Well, we're on a stretch here with only cards for these guys. He was a defensive end. And this is, again, as I said, his only card. He had cards issued while playing in the CFL, though. If you got a CFL collection, you can find Pat Holmes with a 1963 and a 1964 Topps card in the CFL. He was drafted by the Eagles out of Texas Tech in 1962 with the number 40 overall pick. He played in the CFL from 62 to 65 and then came back to the Oilers and suited up with them from 66 to 72, and then the Chiefs in 1973. He was an AFL All-Star in 1967 and 68. He played in 108 games starting 97. He had 1 interception and 6 fumble recoveries. So, yeah, interesting. Is his only card issued as an NFLer, but you can go back to 63 and 64 and get some CFL cards if you're so inclined. Next up, we've got Robert Holmes, and I love the 71 set. Love that look. This is Robert's rookie card, and he also had a card issued in 1972. He was drafted by the Chiefs with the number 375th pick in 1968. He played for the Chiefs from 68 to 71, the Oilers from 71 to 72, and then the Chargers in 73. Robert was a Super Bowl IV winner with the Chiefs. He played in 89 games, starting 38. He gained 3,400 yards, almost 3,500 yards from scrimmage, and finished up with 27 touchdowns in his career. So Robert Holmes, Super Bowl IV winner. Last up, we've got one of the great classic names, Fair Hooker. What a name. Fair Hooker. Wide receiver with the Browns. And his rookie cards in 1972, tops. And then he had cards issued in 73 and 74. Fair was drafted by the Browns out of Arizona State in 1969 with the 124th pick in the 5th round. Fair was an All-American 110-meter hurdler at Arizona State. He played with the Browns from 69 to 74, and then got traded to the Saints in August of 74 after signing with the WFL. That World Football League shortened a lot of NFL careers. Fair suited up in 74 games, starting 57, including every game between 70 and 73. Fair Hooker ended up his career with 129 receptions for 1,845 yards and 8 touchdowns. And I kind of remember Fair Hooker. I was a young kid. Maybe it was that name. I don't know, but I thought he had a better career than what he did. 129 catches for 8 touchdowns. I thought he had a longer career in the NFL. Here we got the great, yeah, I'm chuckling, the great Don Horn. That's his rookie card. And he had cards issued in 71 and 72 also. Don was drafted by the Packers with the 25th pick in 1967. And he was going to be Bart Starr's heir apparent. But he backed him up the whole time in Green Bay. Don was traded to the Broncos in 1971, spending 2 years in Denver. And then he spent a year in Cleveland and a year in San Diego. Don primarily played as a reserve quarterback. He suited up in 57 games, starting just 15. He threw for 3,369 yards with 20 touchdowns and 36 interceptions. Boy, that touchdown to interception ratio back then was just a whole different beast than it is now, that is for sure. And I don't know if you can see the name here, but we got the Giants. Ronnie Hornsby. Great name if you're a baseball player. Not so much for a football player. This is his rookie card. And he had cards issued in 73 to 75. Ron was drafted by the Giants with the 70th pick in 1971. He played from 71 to 74, and then he got traded to the Packers in 75, but they released him. And then he signed with the Saints, but was released again before the start of the 75 season. Ron played in 49 games, starting 28, with 1 interception and 1 fumble recovery. And so there you have it on this page. No Hall of Famers, no superstars, but some great names like Fair Hooker, Ronnie Hornsby, and of course, the Green Bay legend, Don Horn. But really, Robert Holmes had a nice career. Super Bowl winner. And then Pat Holmes. If you want to go buy some CFL cards, you can get some from the early 60s for him. So this was a quick page. But man, I love these cards, guys. I just love it. These are, a lot of them are from my childhood collection, like that Don Horn. Boy, I've had that one for a long time. I did have to buy this Fair Hooker. I remember, it doesn't sound very good coming from a pastor, does it? I had to purchase this card at Strongsville of Fair Hooker to get him in my collection. So anyways, guys, it's fun to have, take some fun with some names here. So it's always a kick to see. Just a classic card name, Fair Hooker, Dick Shiner. There's plenty of other ones. I know in baseball there was a guy called Jay Balls or something like that. But anyways, hey, enough with that, guys. All right, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I really do enjoy it. Take care, everyone.